Hey friends, welcome to Build a Lot Acres. I'm Case.
And I'm Clara.
And on this channel you're going to see all kinds of fun stuff. We're going to do everything from firewood to woodworking to tractors to building projects.
And much more.
Funny dog voices, all kinds of different things, so stay tuned. Hey friends, welcome to Build a Lot Acres. We do a lot of things here. Today we're going to give you a tour of our property. Let the girls out, let them enjoy a little sunshine.
And Zeus. There's Zeus. We have 4 different types of chickens. We have Buff Orpingtons, Golden Laced Wyandottes, or Wyandottes,
Rhode Island Reds.
Rhode Island Reds, and Jersey Giants.
We have one rooster, Mr. Zeus, and the rest are the girls.
Let's check for eggs. They haven't been laying a lot lately because they're actually in the middle of molting and they don't lay a lot when they're molting. So we'll be lucky if we get a few this early, but we might not.
This coop was built by my father, and it's extremely overbuilt. I believe he did 2x8 floor joists, 2x4 studs, 2x6 rafters. I mean, it's built like a house. 2-inch thick solid wood flooring underneath the shavings. We have the roosting bar. We have an approximately 6x14 run, and the watering system has been disconnected due to the winter freezing, so we just bring out water every day, and then they have a feeding pipe that gets filled daily. So over here we have the supply house. We keep everything in here we need. It still needs to be sided, which will be a project for the spring. But as you can see inside, we have a number of things. We have diatomaceous earth to put inside of the coop. We have oyster shells, which are good for the chickens. We have feed. We have hay for the bedding, for the nesting boxes. That's about it. Zeus, come on. All right, let's continue the tour. And now we have the barn. This houses my Coyote tractor, as well as some chainsaws and outdoor equipment. It's 16 by 24 with the loft above for tool storage. Let's take a look inside. As you can see, it's a bit disorganized, but we have the Coyote NX 4510, which is my main workhorse tractor. We have some tools, some outdoor power equipment, garden cart, you know, stuff like that. Stuff that every acresman needs.
Alright, so here at Build a Lot Acres, we have a wood stove, so we use a lot of wood. This woodshed here holds 8 full cords of wood and is one of our main storage areas. We have a 3-year plan, so we'll have enough wood at any given time. As you can see, there are 4 bays, and we started with 3, but we actually added one on afterwards.
We'll put pictures of that.
we'll show you later.
So here we have my daughter's treehouse. As you can see, it's an 8x8 clubhouse with a 4x8 porch in the front, so the total footprint would be 12 feet by 8 feet. It's approximately 9 feet or so off the ground. Yeah, she has a lot of fun up there. It was a fun build. We attached it to this big old oak tree we have, one of the bigger trees in our property. It's over 3.5 feet across. It was attached with some heavy-duty 12-inch lag bolts, as you can see, with some angle braces for wind resistance. And then we added the swing set section later on, and it's been a great little thing for her. So as you can see here, we have the Pallet Garage building. It was built mainly with 4x8 free pallets that I was able to get. Let's take a look inside. It mainly serves as a housing area for my garden tractor collection. As you can see, I have a variety of older vintage garden tractors. I have some Case Ingersoll, some Simplicities, a Sears, and a Massey Ferguson, which was actually built by Ingersoll for this particular model. There was a couple years that Ingersoll built Massey tractors, but we'll do a video in the future with specifics in each tractor. Just a quick rundown, I have a Simplicity Power Max, which is one of the largest garden tractors ever made. We have a Case 448 high wheeler, my son's Case 220 Low Pro. We have a Simplicity Sunstar. We have another 448 high wheeler. We have a 1971 Sears SS14. This is a 1-year tractor. It's very similar to the Suburbans, although it's a slightly wider hood with a bigger Briggs engine versus the Tecumseh. And then we have the Massey Ferguson, which is basically a Case Ingersoll Low Pro with Massey Ferguson hoods and slightly different features such as the engine.
And my dad actually made this cab years ago to help because he was using this tractor for snow blowing and didn't want all the wind and snow blowing in his face, so he made this cab. It's taken some wear and tear over the years, but it's still in pretty good shape.
So I made this 4 foot by the width of the building, which is about 22.5 feet implement shelf. The main purpose obviously is to hold implements for garden tractors. The idea is to pick them up with a Coyote that you saw earlier with the forks, put them on a pallet, onto the shelf, back up, lower the implement when you need it for that season, and when you're done, put it back, and it saves a lot of storage space down below. And you know, it was one of the features that I really wanted in my garage, so I incorporated a high enough ceiling to use implement shelf.
And then this here is just a workbench that he can use for smaller projects and things like that. Not that special.
It's on casters, so I can wheel it over to the particular tractor that I need, do my work, have a nice workspace right next to it, and move it out of the way when it's done, which will lead us into our next area, the tool room. So this tool room is approximately 5 feet by 11 feet. It used to be part of the dog kennel, but it was sectioned off. I knew I wanted a separate area for tools that wouldn't take up any space in the garage, so I made this tool room. Houses everything from battery chargers to compressor to gas cans, heaters, generator cords, hand tools, jacks, ladders, ramps, everything you can think of that you're going to need for a garage.
It's got lots of stuff in here.
So as you can see, we said we burn a lot of wood, and we weren't kidding. We have about 6 to 7 cords of mostly red oak here, all log length that we harvested with my father. This is going to be turned into firewood shortly for coming years. We do the 3-year plan, so we always have 3 years of wood on hand. So this wood probably won't be burned for a good 4 years. But hopefully this spring it will be turned into firewood, stacked, and let season. Let me out of here. Just kidding. We're in the dog kennel now, so as we get into the winter months, we're using this for outdoor storage space. We're keeping, things like patio furniture. We have a couple of mosquito magnets, some bikes, tiki torches, things that we don't really want to get wet. We don't have a lot of other space to put them. As soon as warm weather hits, we'll be taking these out, and the dogs will be using this. It originally was 16 feet by 11. We did break off the 5 feet for the tool room, but the dogs still have an 11 foot by 11 foot area to go in when we're not around.
They have some with fresh air and some that is completely covered so they can get out of the rain or wind.
We have a temporary roof of garage door panels, which I plan to be redoing this area with wood, kind of like I did the pallet garage. So this chain link would turn into solid wood, perhaps a couple of windows for airflow. It'll be a lot more waterproof, and I think it'll just look better visually going with the rest of the property.
Alright, so if we come right around here, we have our shed, which has served us well. This is the Ford 1700, and it's my dad's second biggest tractor, but we'll get more into that in another video. And this over here is the Super Splitter wood splitter, and he uses this to split all his firewood and then restock it in a variety of places. We also have rakes and hoses and just general maintenance stuff like that in here. We have a leaf blower, a couple shovels for the winter months, and just general maintenance stuff that you would need.
So welcome back, friends. We're here at the Wood Processing Center. This is where I do most of my firewood processing, turning it into firewood to heat our home. As you can see, I have multiple IBC containers, which are international bulk containers or intermediate bulk containers, I forget. I got them a while back. They work great. They hold a little over a third of a quart each. These are the 330 gallon, which are the taller containers. They also make them in 275 gallon, which are a little shorter. But my tractor is big enough that I wanted the bigger containers to hold more wood. I believe I have 20 cages with the cutouts in them to put the wood in. And then we have the bladders cut in half diagonally for the roofs, which works great. I've seen this online and on a bunch of other people have done this and gave me the idea to do it myself. We weren't kidding when we said we go through a lot of firewood here at Build a Lot Acres. As you can see, I did this wood stack. It's approximately 6 cords. I believe it's around 47 feet long by 2 rows, which in my case is about 40 inches. My wood's processed to 20 inches long, and it's around 5 feet high. We have a variety of species in that pile. There's ash in the beginning here. We have some oak, which is the darker wood. We have some pine. We have some maple. You know, basically what we can get. We have a lot of great future projects coming up. We might be doing another pallet building in this general spot here. We might be doing a pallet woodshed, which will house the splitter.
We may even be doing a pallet cabin over in our woods to go camping.
Let's not give too much away to the viewers.
Yeah.
So we might be doing a pallet woodshed, which will house a tractor, a splitter, and probably 8 cords of wood. My idea is to have 8 cords in IBC containers, 8 cords in the woodshed, and then 8 cords in this shed. So that'll be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 3-year plan. Nothing will have to get covered. I do need to cover this wood with either plastic or tarps. And as you can see, I have some red oak that still needs to be split.
Which will be a project for later.
I think all told, I'm somewhere around 25 or 30 cords of wood split, and then I have the log length that we looked at earlier. So all together, there's probably around 35 cords of wood here in the property. There's always more to do, always deadfalls and things to clean up. So as you can see, there's a variety of different species of wood on the property. We have everything from ash to red oak to white oak to black locust, which is not very common around here. We were able to get it in western part of the state, and some scrounges. We have eastern white pine, which is often believed to not be able to be burned in a wood stove, which was a myth. It's not true. It can be burned, just needs to be seasoned like any other type of wood. We have maples, we have hickory, we have a large variety. I would say maybe 7 to 10 different types of wood that I burn. You know, it all depends on what I can get my hands on. Black birch is another favorite. We have a lot of that on the property, which I really like.
Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video, and come back for more.